Hello and welcome to the channel that covers everything where health and technology meet. And today we're going to be doing a ride on a connected fitness indoor cycling bike to help give you an idea of what it's like. That way if you're on the fence or if you're not sure if this is something that's for you or something that you'd even enjoy, you'll get an idea of what one of these rides is like. Now we're going to be using the Peloton Bike Plus, so if that's a bike you're interested in, you're going to get a great idea of what one of those rides are like. But I want to point out, this is a great idea or a great example of what other rides are like too. They all kind of follow the same format. So as you watch this video, you really can apply it to other bikes as well and identify if it's something that you like or would not like. So let's start off with talking about where we start, and that's the shoes. Now this is something that actually intimidates a lot of people because it's just something you're not used to if you're new to this, and you have to get special cycling shoes, and they have these cleats on the bottom. And all this means is you wear what is basically a regular shoe. You slip it on, tie it up, no big deal, but then you have to secure these cleats to the bike. So you have to slide them in and snap them down. And this is nice for a few reasons. First, it just makes you completely connected to the bike. You don't feel like you're gonna slip out. You don't feel like you might be in danger. You're always very well connected. Second, you don't only push down on the pedal stroke. On your opposite leg that's going up, you actually pull up. So you're always working both legs. And this does a lot of things for you. It lets you cycle faster. It allows you to do higher resistance easier, and allows you to just get a better overall exercise and engage more muscles. So let's slap these shoes on and jump into getting started on a ride. Now that I'm connected to the bike, the next thing I'm gonna do is put on my heart rate monitor, and this gives me some extra information on the screen, extra things to motivate me, and then a lot of extra information after the ride as well to help me understand what my heart was doing, how many calories I was burning, and what heart rate zones I was in. And I like that information, so I always wear my heart rate monitor. And now it's time to select a ride. And most bikes offer a format that's pretty close to what the Peloton offers, in that you have live classes, so a schedule that shows what they have going, and if you want, you can join at a certain time and do a live ride with a lot of other people. You have on-demand rides, which are rides that they used to be live, but now they're just available in their library, and there's a lot to select from. You have scenic rides if you just want to go out and see some location, and then just ride modes where it's just you and the stats on the screen. Now I'm going to do an on-demand ride. That's usually what I stick to, and allows me to filter down, find the ride type that I want. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. You can see here at the top that I have a lot of different options to choose from. I'm going to choose cycling for the instructor. Let's go with one of my favorites, Leanne. Length, so this video isn't forever. Let's go with 15 minutes, and we'll just select one of her more recent ones. We'll go with this hit ride right here, and you can see it'll give you some basic information. Click start, and we're heading into the ride. So we're in the intro part of the ride right now, where they're just covering some of the basics. They like to do this before the ride starts, but explaining what cadence is, what resistance is, and getting you familiar in case you're new to this, or you just want to know how the instructor references different things. So you're going to feel good about it going in the ride and know what they're saying. So usually like a little 50-second, 60-second intro, and then it jumps into the ride.
Pretty intense, but it's 15 minutes out of a 24-hour day. So you can do this before we show up, before we go in with a quick warm-up. These numbers, left-hand side cadence, that's the speed your legs are moving at. First set of intervals go with cadence.
So the ride's now starting. The instructor's starting to tell us what resistance they want us to start out at, how we're warming up. And we have a 3-minute warm-up session, 11-minute main ride, and then a 1-minute cool down for this 15-minute ride. We also have a lot of different things on the screen to look at. I did mention that I hooked up my heart rate monitor here so I can see that on the screen. I can see that I'm currently at a heart rate of 71 and climbing because I'm starting to ride. And I'm currently at just zone 1, but there's 5 zones, I believe, and you'll be able to see what heart rate zone you're in as you ride. Now at the bottom, I have a lot more information, such as cadence, my total output, and my resistance. I can see distance, speed, total output, calories burned, leaderboard, which I can filter by all time, who's riding right now, and other filters if I want to get more granular. But there's a lot of data here going on, which is a good thing for me. I like seeing it. A lot of it is motivational, seeing what kind of output you're reaching. Are you matching what the instructor wants? Where are you on the leaderboard? You know, I usually try to get in like the top third. That's usually where I'm at. And I know I had a pretty good ride if I'm there. I'm not one of those people that push for the very top. I just want a nice quality ride. One of the newer features of added are these little bars here that show what kind of cadence or resistance they want you and if you're meeting those or not. And they'll change colors and do different things based on if you're currently there. Right now as I talk to you, I'm riding a little bit slower than what they're asking for, so it's not really lighting up. But if I speed up a little bit on the cadence side, you can see where it turned yellow because I got in the zone. And you can see that little marker showing where I'm at in the zone. Now as far as resistance, you can see that the range is 30 to 45 right now. And my bar is at the 35 mark, and the little lock next to it is unlocked. That means auto follow is not turned on, which means they don't have control. I'm just setting the resistance. But if I turn that on, Auto follow is now on, which means they control the resistance in the range where I want it. So right now the range is 30 to 45, but if you see, I can change it to 40. So I still have some control without unlocking auto follow. And so now I'm kind of saying I want to be at the 2/3 mark of the range. So when they bump up that range, which we'll see here in a second, I will stay at that mark or that area in the zone of resistance. And around the auto follow icon, you can see a little circular thing filling up, and you can tell that's when the next change is going to occur. So we'll get to see that here in just a second. So they just bumped the resistance to a 40 to 50 range now, and my resistance jumped to 47. I could hear the motor change the resistance, barely noticeable, but you can kind of tell it happened. More so you can feel the resistance change. It definitely got harder, but I didn't have to touch anything. I can stay in the zone. And that is one nice thing about the bikes that have that capability, that auto follow situation. Really lets you just kind of stay in the zone and get into the ride and not have to do this a lot. So they just pushed us to wanting us to be in a cadence range of 110 to 120. And you can see my heart rate jumped to 133 at zone 2. So I can see the impact of what I've done. So I can tell you one thing, I am not conditioned to talk and ride at the same time. This is not easy, and I don't know how they do it. And that is one of the things that sets Peloton apart from the rest. The rest kind of do this, but the ability to have different instructors that kind of talk to you in different ways. They motivate you in very different ways. Some are intense, yell at you. Some are more of a club type environment. Some are just chill, relaxed, lay back, zen, spa kind. And others are just, let me talk to you, let me be personal with you, let me just be a nice friend to you. So there's a lot of different types to help make sure you get the right instructor for you that's gonna help you push yourself to the max and just have the instructor that you really feel you can jive with. And on top of that, there are a ton of different ride types. So think Tabata, HIIT. There's just how they do the resistance, the frequency, how hard it is, how fast they ride, the cadence, things like that. They change the ride style up a lot, and you can really gravitate to some more than others. So there are gonna be so many choices when you get a bike like this and just doing what works for you. Some rides are gonna use weights. I didn't pick one that did, but there's a weight holder right behind me. You grab it and they'll just have you do things like this, and it sounds really easy, but actually they have you do it so much and so frequent, they're actually, your arms start to get pretty tired. So it is a good workout. And if you want to change it up so it's not just all cardio and get more of a body exercise or a whole body exercise, you can do that. So those are nice to mix in. And as I sit here and stare at this screen, one of the things that's really nice about these connected fitness bikes are these large, high quality screens. If you've ever used an iPad, or some of those bikes come with little 8-inch screens, they're very small and you find yourself kind of doing that, squinting, trying to get into the ride, see what they're doing. And it's just hard to immerse yourself. But with ones like this, you end up just kind of zoning out. You don't even see anything else that's going around you. You are immersed, and it is really nice. The size of the screen compared to where you sit, it's all you see, and it does really help you just get into the exercise. So they've asked us to get out of the saddle, so I'm now doing that. Resistance has been bumped up to 64. I didn't touch it. They did on their own, and they want us between 60 and 70 cadence. Here we go again, resistance keeps changing, but I just keep riding. I don't have to do anything or touch anything. So heart rate's now at zone 3, 150 beats per minute. Getting out of the saddle can really work you. Both versions do it, but my heart rate really goes up when I do that. And I mentioned being connected to the pedals, and while it feels awkward at first, being able to pull up with your foot that's coming up and not just using the push down side makes it so much easier to ride hard, fight harder resistances, and cycle faster. So it's something you kind of got to get used to, but once you do it, it starts to feel familiar. It makes a world of difference. You might think with these 15-minute workouts, it's not much of a workout, it's too short. But a lot of times, because they know it's short, they push you that much harder to try to maximize the window. So it is a hard workout. So we're now in the 1-minute cool down period. So resistance is lightening up quite a bit at 27. They're not making you do anything crazy. My heart rate's still at 145. I can see where I'm on the leaderboard. I can see my speed distance of 4.2 miles. Total output 114. And calories burned 162. Now I will admit, on a normal ride I'd probably go a little harder, But I'm trying to be at least talk halfway decent, even though you can tell I'm out of breath. So as the ride ends, I get a little summary screen, but I can also go to workout details and get a lot of extra information. You can see my leaderboard rank, where my heart rate measured throughout the course of the ride, and you can see it kind of just kept elevating and held at a pretty decent range. I can tell what zones I went into, so looking at this, if I wasn't filming a video, I'd probably say, boy, I need to be in zone 4 more, and probably wanted to touch zone 5 a little bit. But this is where you get to work out with what you want and try to get you in the zones that you want or what works best for what you're trying to achieve. If I scroll down, I can see my total output, where my cadence was and how I measured up with what they wanted. Again, same thing with resistance, speed, and a lot of good information there. And then result is I'm a sweaty mess. I don't think I'm sweating through my shirt too bad yet, but I can see it dripping off my nose. And that was just a little 15-minute ride while I didn't work out as hard as I normally would because of the video. So even with that, I burned a bunch of calories. I'm sweating like crazy. It was a great workout. So these bikes, and I'm not just specifically talking about Peloton, they have the ability to give you one heck of a cardio workout. And if cardio is your goal, these can help you get there. And if you are thinking about getting a bike like this, but you don't know where you're going, subscribe to this channel, start watching some of my videos. I have a lot of reviews on a lot of different bikes. I have comparisons, and I have videos coming up on comparing a lot of different models. And I'm gonna be working towards a video where I kind of highlight all the different connected fitness bikes and try to help you narrow down which one might be the best for you so you don't have that overwhelmed feeling. So hit that subscribe button so you know when that comes out. Like the video if you could, I would appreciate it. And until next time, here's to a healthier you, and have a good one.